Hello. Good evening. It's another late start. Um, Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks so much for joining. Hope you've had a wonderful day. It's going to be a short one, about 10-15 minutes today. Just wanted to come on because I promised to come on for 5 days a week for the next 30 days. So today, well, first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Quishar. I go by Shar. I am the CEO of Quishar Detroit Publishing. I'm a two-time author, and I am an insurance agent by day. But I've always loved to write, so a couple of years ago, I made the decision to start writing, and I started Quishar Detroit Publishing to publish my books and my family's books, and then it, you know, kind of grew to, educate and inform new authors about the writing process. So today I'm going to talk about four things that kind of held up the publishing of my most recent book, Skyrocket Your Success. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is trying to put everything into one book. You know how you may have a topic that's so broad. So the topic that I wrote about was success, stumbling blocks to success. And I talked about how my journey to success, I talked about my story and my journey to success and the different things that stopped me from being successful in life until I just pushed myself into greatness, basically. Just pushed myself past all the stumbling blocks, but it took some time. But the first thing I want to talk about is trying to put everything into one book. Sometimes you may have a broad topic and you may want to cover so many different things, and it may be too much for this one book. You don't have to put everything in that one book. You can save some for later and write a follow up book. So when you have the issue of trying to figure out what's going to go, what's going to stay, try to find the things that make sense together. So, like I said, I kept prolonging it because I wanted to write about so much more, and I realized that the longer I waited, it just made me more confused. So I made a decision to just put certain things in this book, and I'll do a follow up later. So that's the number one thing, is you don't have to put everything in one book. You can always do a sequel, a follow up. The second thing is stop overthinking. I overthought so much because one of the things, I wanted to make sure that this book was going to make an impact. I wanted to make sure that it was a good book. It was interesting, and that overthinking can take you back because you start thinking, and it just makes you procrastinate, makes you delay. So stop overthinking and just go ahead, do your best, self edit the best that you can, and submit your manuscript to your editor. Just go through the process. It's a learning process. Just forget about perfectionism and just submit your work after you've done your due diligence, after you've, self edited your manuscript as best as you can. Go ahead and submit it and just go through the process. Remember, it's a learning process. Don't get mad when your editor comes back and, says this needs to be corrected. Just correct it. You're going through the process. Yes, everything can just, yeah, overthinking can take you out. Overthinking is just, because it's just a delay. It's a distraction too. So, okay, so the first thing was you don't have to put everything in one book. You can write a second book. The second thing is overthinking. The third thing is just knowing some certain processes like copywriting. That's one thing that helped me up. I was wondering, should I copyright my work before I send it to my editor, before I send it to my formatter? Because I went to a couple of formatters for this book